people that have been watching.
Okay.
But see, we all remember you from the first time.
Yeah.
That's the fun part. Y'all set, guys? All right. We're just finishing the morning walkthrough here on Monday in Mankato. We've been joined by backup quarterback Shaun Hill for his second tour of duty in Minnesota. How's it feel to be back in Mankato?
Oh, it's great. I've always had a fondness for this organization and this state, and obviously coming back here brings back a lot of memories in Mankato, and really it's been a very seamless transition for myself and my family coming up here, and it's all been great.
Obviously with your lineage and where you came from a college perspective, you've joined several staffs before. I think you're the last guy from the Tice generation. There's Mike Tice, who was a quarterback at 6'8" at Maryland. What did you hear about him, as far as legacy as being a quarterback in Maryland?
Obviously, he liked to run the ball, and he was good at it, even at that size, and was a very, very big physical quarterback at that time. But he came and spoke to us as an offensive line coach here when I was out of school there, and so that was my first interaction with him out there.
As a backup quarterback, you're one play away from being in the game. How do you get yourself prepared to stay in the game? Are you listening to the signals and know kind of where the game plan is going, so you just insert immediately?
Yeah, you try to every day take the mental reps as the starter is getting the physical reps. So you try to get those mental reps and stay focused and locked in. And you have to know the game plan as well as the starter going into the game. And then you stay up with the adjustments on the sidelines. I always wear my helmet so that I can hear the play.
Right.
Some people use like an earpiece and they can hear it, but it just sounds different in a helmet. So I always wear the helmet just so that I can, I guess stay up to date with how that sounds in the helmet, because it is different for sure.
I always wonder, the quarterback, you've got to look at so many things pre-snap. You've got very few seconds to go. You got people barking things around you. Do you feel that speed of the moment, or is it just natural from all the practice you've had?
No, it slows down for sure. Just from having all the reps and stuff. Really, the fastest day is Wednesday when you get into game prep, because that's when everything's new and you're thinking. But by the time Sunday rolls around, you're just reacting.
What happens to you when you end up in a St. Louis or Detroit and you're playing again? All of a sudden you hear some signals that are the same. Does that confuse you at all?
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Every team changes from week to week, and certainly from year to year, teams kind of evolve and adapt. So,
I tell you, a quarterback takes a pounding, and only the quarterback could take. You started a lot of games in your NFL career. How do you recover from that? When you've gone through a game like that, how many days does it take to where you feel back to normal? You might be able to pass the ball and run around a bit.
Well, I've always tried to make sure I feel as good as I can by Wednesday. That doesn't always happen. But by the time you get through Wednesday's practice and you get out there and you're sweating and moving around, things starting to loosen up, and by the end of the week you start turning that corner and you're ready to go by Sunday.
Obviously, you have a job here to help Teddy Bridgewater as best you can. In that role, what are the types of things that you look for? What is the type of counsel you would give him?
Well, we are very well coached here, and so that part's going to be taken care of for sure. What I'm looking forward to is when we get into game plans and we're off hours, Teddy and I being able to go in and watch our opponent, and I think that's where I'll be able to give him some insight and really be able to help him.
Last question for you. The last time you were here, you played the Metrodome. Now you're going to play outside, and obviously some potential for some pretty cold games, especially you get towards playoff time. Are they taking you to the freezer section of the cafeteria to get you ready for those plays?
I don't know if there's anything you can do to really get ready for that. I know Coach Zimmer's he's a hard-nosed coach, and so I know when we have a cold weather game, we'll be outside and practicing in it, and that's what's going to get us ready for it.
How's that change? From a cold weather game for a quarterback? What's the big difference for you? What do you have to get used to?
Well, as long as it's not wet, not a lot changes, or real windy. As far as temperature goes, it's not extremely different for us. The main thing is just being able to stay loose and kind of keep a good lather throughout the game.
Okay. Well, we'll make sure we connect with Mike Tice to make sure he knows you're going to wear no sleeves during those games. And we wish you great success this year, and we're glad to have you back.
All right, thanks. Good to be back.
From Mankato, I'm Tom Moore.